Okay, so ever get the feeling like you're, I don't know, playing life on easy mode?
Mm-hmm.
And then, bam, you bump into someone who's just operating on a whole other level.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
That's Ray Dalio for you.
Yeah.
And this deep dive, it's not just about, building Bridgewater into this investing like behemoth.
Right.
It's that he took his own like rule book, literally titled Principles,
Yeah.
and decided, you know what, the world needs to see this.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but peeking into the mind of someone that successful,
Of course.
I had to take a look.
Yeah, it's fascinating because Dalio, he doesn't s separate like work from life the way most of us do. He's all about this absolute rationality thing.
Okay.
And it's not just about logic, right? It's deeper than that. He's talking about this constant pursuit of like objective truth,
Right.
removing emotion and ego like from the equation completely.
So not just thinking things through, but like hardcore evidence-based, almost robotic decision making.
Exactly. And most of us, we think we're rational, right?
Yeah.
But Dalio would argue, like, we're constantly tripping over these biases
Yeah.
that we don't even realize we have. So he lays out this 5-step process for achieving any goal.
Okay.
And you'd think it's simple. You set the goal, you identify the problem, you find the root cause, you design the solution, you implement it.
Yeah, sounds pretty straightforward.
Right.
But knowing Dalio, I'm guessing there's got to be a catch somewhere.
Whoa.
Like people fall apart pretty quickly in that process, I'm guessing.
You guessed it. Step 2. Accurately identifying the problem
Okay.
trips almost everyone up.
Really?
We jump to solutions, we blame others, we convince ourselves the problem isn't really a problem.
Okay. Yeah, I'm guilty of that, especially the blaming others part. But Dalio would probably say, I'm not being absolutely rational about it.
Or he'd say we have blind spots,
Yeah.
and we hate having them pointed out.
Oh, for sure.
Like, Dalio uses this example of a daily commute,
Okay.
right? Most of us, we guesstimate.
Yeah.
But Dalio would, like, track that commute meticulously,
Yeah.
analyze the data, understand every variable.
Okay, so maybe I wouldn't go that far, but I see his point. We let feelings get in the way of facts all the time.
Exactly. And Dalio says, like, there's literally a battle going on in our heads.
Oh, tell me more.
2 U's.
Mm.
One that craves truth, growth, even if it's painful.
Yeah.
And the other, well, that's our ego talking,
Yep.
right? Trying to protect us from discomfort.
Right, right. And that's where this whole radical open-mindedness comes in, right?
Yes.
It's not just about being open to feedback, it's actively seeking it out,
Yeah.
even if it, stings a little
Yeah.
or a lot. Knowing Dalio,
Right.
didn't he have this system where employees could email him, like directly with criticism, talk about a short path to a performance review?
He did. And it wasn't just encouraged. It was practically mandatory at Bridgewater.
Wow.
Dalio believes that to get to that, like, pure objective truth, you have to be willing to hear what others see, even if it, like, totally contradicts your perception. He's designed his entire company culture around overcoming those blind spots.
Okay, that's a little intense for me, but I get it. If you're truly committed to constant improvement, sometimes you need that, brutally honest feedback, even if it comes from like an intern.
Right.
Speaking of Bridgewater, that's where things get really interesting. So we've talked about Dalio's like almost superhuman approach to rationality in his own life, right?
Yeah.
But then he takes these principles and just injects them into like the high stakes world of Wall Street.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure Intense covers it at that point.
It's a whole other level. And this is where, like, idea meritocracy takes center stage.
Okay.
It's like, imagine a workplace where the best idea truly wins,
Okay.
no matter who it came from.
That sounds great in theory, but in practice,
Right.
I've worked places where the loudest voice in the room wins, and it's not always about the best idea.
Right.
So how does Dalio actually pull that off at Bridgewater?
Well, he gets, like, incredibly systematic about it.
Okay.
They use something called believability-weighted decision-making.
Okay.
Essentially, your opinion carries weight
Okay.
based on your track record
Yeah.
and proven expertise in a given area.
Okay. So it's not about everyone getting an equal say.
Right.
It's about everyone getting a weighted say, kind of like
Yeah.
a company-wide expertise, like ranking system.
Exactly. Dalio argues that assuming everyone's, like, equally capable in all areas
Yeah.
is actually a recipe for disaster.
Okay.
He wants to leverage those diverse perspectives,
Yeah.
but in a way that acknowledges, some people are more qualified to speak on certain topics than others.
So you're saying if, like, the marketing intern has a brilliant idea about, like, a new algorithm.
Yeah.
But the guy who's been like coding algorithms for 20 years disagrees. Dalio would side with the expert, even if the intern is like accidentally right.
It's not about being right or wrong in that moment, right?
Okay.
It's about trusting the weight of experience. Think of it like this. Let's
Yeah.
say there's like a market fluctuation
Okay.
due to a public health crisis.
Right.
In that situation, a junior analyst
Yeah.
with a background in epidemiology
Okay.
might have insights that even the most seasoned financial analyst could miss.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're not just valuing experience for experience's sake, you're valuing the right experience at the right time. Dalio's really playing 3D chess with this whole system.
He is. And it goes hand in hand with this other radical concept he implements, radical transparency.
Okay.
We're not just talking about like open door policies here.
Right.
We're talking about nearly every meeting at Bridgewater being recorded.
Wait, hold up. Everything's on record.
Yeah.
No wonder everyone there's walking on eggshells.
Well, that's the point, to eliminate the eggshells.
Yeah.
See, Dalio noticed that even with his open feedback policy,
Yeah.
people still held back in meetings, worried about stepping on toes or saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Recording everything removes that filter.
Okay, I see how that could like force people to be more honest in the moment. But what about, those side conversations? Like those happen everywhere.
Dalio has a solution for that too.
Yeah.
Part of radical transparency means if you discuss someone who's not present
Yeah.
in a meeting, you're obligated to share that recording with them afterwards.
Whoa.
Yeah,
So much for like polite office gossip.
right.
I can see how that would create an interesting dynamic.
Definitely. It eliminates those like conversations, the office politics, the
Mm.
he said, she said drama.
Mm.
Dalio argues it's all about separating work from ego.
Right.
And this radical transparency, even if it's uncomfortable,
Yeah.
gets everyone on the same page.
I'll admit it's a bold approach, but isn't there a risk of it like backfiring?
Oh, yeah.
I can see this creating a culture of fear and paranoia, honestly.
Absolutely. It's a double-edged sword. Some people thrive in that environment of like constant direct feedback.
Yeah.
Others, not so much. And that's actually a perfect segue into one of Dalio's most intriguing concepts.
Okay, I'm getting some serious like Big Brother vibes from this whole radical transparency thing.
Yeah.
But before I, go full conspiracy theorist on you, let's bring it back to the listener for a second.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Even if we don't have like cameras in our conference rooms,
Yeah.
there's still a lot we can learn from like Dalio's overall approach.
Absolutely. And Dalio himself would be the first to say, like, you shouldn't just copy my principles.
Right.
He wants you to develop your own,
Right.
like a personalized system for navigating the world.
Okay.
And that's where his concept of the pain button comes in.
Pain button. Okay. I'm hoping this is a metaphor because we've already covered radical transparency and like, I don't even want to know what a literal pain button in Dalio's world would look like.
Don't worry, there's no physical harm involved.
Okay, good.
It started as Dalio's like personal system for logging mistakes.
Yeah.
He realized early on that just making a mistake wasn't enough.
Right.
He needed a way to like record what went wrong, why he made that decision, and like the true root cause.
Okay.
He had to actually confront the discomfort of being wrong to truly learn from it.
And Dalio's no stranger to making mistakes, even like huge GE ones, right? Didn't he completely misjudge the market at one point?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the 1980s, he was convinced the U.S. was on the verge of economic collapse.
Wow.
He went all in on this prediction, even publicly, and it turned out to be dead wrong.
Oh, no.
The market boomed.
Wow.
And Dalio would, eat crow big time.
Talk about a blow to the ego. Okay, see, that's where I would like want to crawl into my desk and never come out.
Yeah.
But Dalio turned it into a learning opportunity.
Exactly. That experience was a major turning point for him.
Okay.
It forced him to confront his own blind spots and like the limitations of even his, rigorous decision-making process.
Right.
He realized it's not enough to just be confident in your logic.
Yep.
You have to be willing to be wrong, to learn from those mistakes and to like adapt your thinking.
So how does the pain button fit into all of this?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Dalio realized that most of us have these like fleeting moments of insight after a mistake,
Right.
but we rarely like capture them.
Yeah.
So he started treating his pain button, this system of recording and analyzing his errors,
Yeah.
as a company-wide tool at Bridgewater.
So instead of just personal reflection, it became a database of everyone's mistakes.
Precisely. Imagine a searchable system where every time someone messed up,
Right.
they documented the thought process that led to the error, the lessons learned, and even like potential principles to avoid repeating that mistake in the future.
It's like crowdsourcing company wisdom.
Yeah.
No more making the same mistake twice because it's like all right there in the system.
Exactly. It takes those like aha moments that usually fade away
Right.
and turns them into actionable knowledge.
I love it.
And it all circles back to Dalio's core belief in absolute rationality and constant improvement.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, right, though?
We have.
We've got Dalio's, radical approach to rationality, his belief in idea meritocracy,
Right.
and this fascinating concept of the pain button to like systematize learning from mistakes.
It's a lot.
It's intense, it's thought-provoking, and honestly, it's a lot to process.
It is. And that's the beauty of a deep dive like this.
Right.
We're left with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Dalio would want.
Of course.
He wants you to take these concepts, these principles, and like wrestle with them yourself.
So here's a final thought for our listeners to ponder. Would you thrive in Dalio's world?
Yeah.
This world of like radical transparency and relentless pursuit of truth?
Good question.
Or does his system, while, potentially effective, come at a cost? It's something to chew on as you navigate your own journey. Until next time, happy diving.
In the maze of life we roam, where principles light our home, with reason as our guiding star, through complexity we'll go far. Let principles show the way, in every choice we make each day. Learn from failures, grow through pain, till wisdom starts to flow like rain. Dalio's path of truth and light, facing reality with all our might. Extreme transparency we need, to let the best ideas succeed. Leave your ego at the door, let rationality soar. Every mistake a lesson learned, every principle well earned. In this journey we pursue, let principles guide us through, with reason as our trusted friend, till success meets us at the end. Dalio's path of truth and light, facing reality with all our might. Extreme transparency we need, to let the best ideas succeed. Let principles show the way, in every choice we make each day. Learn from failures, grow through pain, till wisdom starts to flow like rain. Dalio's path of truth and light, facing reality with all our might. Extreme transparency we need, to let the best ideas succeed. To let the best ideas succeed. Leave your ego at the door, let rationality soar. Every mistake a lesson learned, every principle well earned. In this journey we pursue, let principles guide us through, with reason as our trusted friend, till success meets us at the end.